Hey, why is it called Palm Sunday?
Beats me.
Palm what?
I don't get it.
Are you talking about that time that Jesus rode into Jerusalem and the crowd welcomed him by waving palm branches? Yeah, on a donkey. He rode on a donkey. If you're talking about Jesus' big entrance into Jerusalem, yeah, there was a lot of branches being waved at that time. Hold your donkeys there. We need to start at the beginning. So, Jimmy, Jesus was near in Jerusalem, right by Bethpage. This was close to Bethany, where Jesus had spent the night at Lazarus' place. And his sisters, Lazarus' sisters, Martha and Mary. Off topic, Matthew. Now, where was I? As Jesus approaches the Mount of Olives, he sends two of his disciples ahead to go get the donkey. Because of the prophecy. Jesus often acted on little phrases from the Torah, applying them to himself, like picking the 12 and fasting for 40 days in the wilderness. He always had a sense that he was part of some greater mission. He was also good at taking care of small details. Like what to say if anyone was to ask the disciples, "Why are you untying that donkey?" Just tell them, "The Lord needs it." Them! What? Them. Jesus had them untied, the mother and its colt. There was two. Matt. You know if in the future, scholars are going to make fun of you because of your two donkeys. Like, you're not smart enough to understand the original Hebrew. What? Because I remember there was a colt and a mother donkey? Anyways, the whole plan came together perfectly. Then the disciples threw their cloaks, like I said, palm branches, while shouting that classic Passover psalm. Hosanna! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Blessed is the King of Israel. A classic. Hosanna? What does that mean? It's an old Hebrew word meaning please save us. So literally the crowd was yelling out, "Please save us," to Jesus, calling him the Son of David. It's not in the psalm, but it fit the occasion. They didn't add that part of the Son of David. They were praising him for the coming of the kingdom of David. You know, Israel's best king? They did not. That's why I dropped the whole Hosanna thing. Keep it focused on the disciples praising God for the miracles that Jesus had done. But that's not what they were crying out. They were crying out, "Please God, come and save us in the highest place." The highest place was in the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. That's why Jesus went straight to the temple after that. But before he went to the temple, the Pharisees came up to him, tell him, get the crowd to be a little bit quieter. It was getting really loud with the whole commotion of him riding into Jerusalem. But he would have none of it, even though all the Roman soldiers had come to Jerusalem to do crowd control during this Passover time. Jesus seemed to not even care. It almost seemed like he wanted to provoke them, commenting, "If they don't cry out, the stones will." The crowd was massive, being the Passover week and all. Then he stopped. Just as he crest over the hill, he looked over to Jerusalem and he just froze and he started to cry. And then he commented that only if they had recognized the time of his coming, because it could have saved them. But now Jerusalem would soon be destroyed because they did not recognize him when he came. The city was in commotion. Everyone was asking who was riding into Jerusalem on a donkey, because most people around the festival of Passover would walk into Jerusalem on foot. So the symbolism was not lost on them. Many of them responded saying, "Jesus, the prophet from Nazareth of Galilee." Most people didn't even know what was happening. Not even the disciples, till much later. But the next day, when Jesus went to the temple, it became clear